Once, spies wore disguises, carried briefcases, and whispered in dark alleys. Today, they carry nothing. They are invisible. They are digital. And they are inside your life, your devices, and your very thoughts. Every action you take leaves a digital footprint. The apps you use, the messages you send, the websites you browse, the streets you walk. Every step is analyzed, stored, and sometimes predicted. Imagine this. You wake up, check your phone, scroll through social media, and go to work. Unbeknownst to you, AI algorithms are tracking your habits, analyzing your mood, and even predicting your decisions before you make them. You think you're free, but in reality, an invisible spy network is watching, learning, and adapting. This is not science fiction. This is now. And it's happening on a global scale. AI doesn't just observe, it anticipates, influences, and controls. Governments use it to monitor citizens, corporations use it to shape behavior, and rogue actors exploit it for power and profit. Ordinary humans, your neighbors, co-workers, and even you, become unintentional participants in this surveillance experiment. Tonight, we uncover how artificial intelligence has created a new class of spies, spies that never sleep, never forget, and see everything. And we'll reveal the global implications of a world where privacy, freedom, and secrecy are no longer yours. The stakes are high, the consequences are real, and the spies are already among us. Espionage is not new. Throughout history, empires, kings, and governments relied on spies to gain an edge over rivals. In ancient times, spies sent coded messages, disguised themselves as merchants, or infiltrated enemy camps. The Roman Empire had a sophisticated network of informants, tracking political rivals and military movements. During the Middle Ages, assassins, double agents, and secret societies operated in shadows to gather intelligence. Knowledge was power, and spies were the ultimate weapon. Then came the World Wars, and espionage became industrialized. Codes, radio signals, and surveillance technologies were deployed on a massive scale.
The Allies famously cracked the Enigma codes, while the Nazis ran global spy networks. In every era, spies were humans, bound by human limits, fatigue, fear, and error. But now, with AI, those limits are gone. The digital revolution changed the rules of the game. The battlefield moved from alleys and battlefields to cyberspace, social media, and your devices. AI emerged as a tool that could monitor millions of people simultaneously, analyze data faster than any human, and predict behavior with alarming accuracy. Human spies could be caught, bribed, or deceived.
AI spies? They cannot be bribed. They cannot be deceived easily. They do not tire, sleep, or forget. They are everywhere, watching everything. AI has transformed espionage into something unimaginable just decades ago. No longer are spies limited to physical observation. They now operate in digital shadows, analyzing data from satellites, devices, and networks worldwide. Let's break down the capabilities of these new digital spies. First, there's facial recognition. AI can identify individuals in crowds, even through partial disguises, masks, or from blurry, low-quality images. Governments and corporations use it to track protesters, dissidents, or simply consumers walking through a mall. Second, predictive behavior. AI algorithms analyze your digital life to predict your actions before they even happen. If your online activity suggests you might join a protest, AI can flag it. If your spending habits suggest you're in financial trouble, AI can target you with specific ads or offers, exploiting your vulnerability. Third, emotion detection. By analyzing micro-expressions in your face, the tone of your voice, and even your typing patterns, AI can detect your mood, stress levels, or intent. Imagine a job interview where an AI is judging not just your answers, but your hidden feelings. Fourth, automated data mining. AI can scan millions of emails, chats, and social media posts in seconds. It automatically maps out connections between people, identifies networks of influence, and spots emerging trends. And finally, cyber espionage. AI can hack networks, steal data, and infiltrate secure systems faster and more efficiently than any human hacker ever could. This is a new class of spy, invisible, relentless, and global. And the frightening truth is, most people don't even realize they exist. For example, back in 2019, intelligence agencies reportedly used AI to track political activists across borders. They monitored their movements, communications, and even predicted potential threats, all without a single agent ever leaving the office. Corporations use similar technology to monitor competitors, their own employees, and of course, their consumers. The line between government surveillance and corporate spying is blurring. AI doesn't care if it's politics, profit, or personal data. It just collects, analyzes, and predicts. And it's already shaping the world in ways we don't fully understand. Governments worldwide are embracing AI to create unprecedented spy networks. In the United States, programs use AI to analyze phone metadata, social media activity, and travel patterns to monitor threats globally. Predictive algorithms are used to identify high-risk individuals and events before they occur. In China, the social credit system is a prime example of AI-powered surveillance. It combines facial recognition, AI tracking, and behavior monitoring to regulate citizens. Drones and millions of surveillance cameras monitor entire cities, while AI predicts potential threats to the state based on a person's daily activities. And it's not just the US and China. Russia and various European nations are integrating AI into their intelligence operations. They're using data analytics, cyber espionage, and predictive policing to anticipate and respond to global threats. These AI programs are not passive. They do not just sit and wait. They anticipate, intercept, and sometimes even manipulate human behavior. They operate at speeds humans cannot comprehend, across borders humans cannot physically monitor. What's more, governments often outsource this AI spying to private contractors. These companies design and manage the systems that monitor millions, sometimes billions of people, giving governments near total visibility into the lives of citizens and non-citizens alike. The shocking reality is that some governments now have access to predictive AI that can forecast protests before they happen, identify potential political dissidents before they act, and track individual behaviors globally in real time. The era of the human spy, with all its limitations and romance, has ended. Welcome to the age of AI espionage. But governments aren't the only ones playing this game. Big tech has turned surveillance into a multi-billion-dollar business model, creating a second powerful class of AI spies. Social media platforms are the biggest players. Their AI analyzes every scrap of user data, your likes, your friends, your posts, your location, to map your connections, interests, and vulnerabilities. This information is then used to predict and influence everything from consumer habits to political movements. Then, there are the data brokers, shadowy companies that collect and sell millions of private records. They sell your data to governments, to other companies, to anyone willing to pay. This data feeds the AI systems that monitor, predict, and influence your behavior. This isn't just about showing you a targeted ad for a pair of shoes you looked at. It's about behavior manipulation on a mass scale. These algorithms can influence what you see, what news you read, and how you feel. They subtly shape your emotions, your desires, and your decisions, creating a powerful form of control you might not even notice. For instance, an AI system could detect rising dissatisfaction in a city based on social media chatter. A corporation or government could then adjust the targeted ads or content shown to people in that area to calm public sentiment, potentially preempting protests or strikes before they even begin. Corporations don't just observe, they shape reality, creating a digital mirror of our lives and subtly nudging the outcomes they desire. The evidence for this new reality is all around us, if you know where to look. The Edward Snowden revelations showed us how the NSA was collecting massive datasets on its own citizens, using AI to analyze patterns and connections. In China's Xinjiang region, a pervasive AI surveillance system tracks citizens' every move, predicting suspicious behavior and controlling their mobility, their jobs, and their freedom. On the corporate side, we've seen how tech giants use their vast AI capabilities to track billions of users, influencing everything from elections to consumer choices and public opinion. The most terrifying part? Most people live their lives thinking they're free, unaware that algorithms are constantly observing, predicting, and shaping their every action. We've seen how AI has transformed espionage, how governments and corporations use it to watch us, and how our every move can be predicted. But the story doesn't end here. There is a growing global AI spy network that connects governments, corporations, and even rogue actors, creating a web of surveillance that's nearly impossible to escape. This has real human costs: the loss of privacy, the psychological impact of being constantly watched, and the danger of being wrongfully targeted by a flawed algorithm. However, there is resistance. Privacy tools, brave whistleblowers, and global activism are fighting back, demanding transparency and accountability. The future of AI espionage is still being written. We're on the cusp of even more advanced predictive intelligence, the integration of AI into warfare, and the rise of a next generation of spies we can't yet imagine. The question is, will you see the spies coming, or will they see you first? The world's new battleground isn't a desert or an ocean. It's invisible. It's coded in algorithms, stored in data centers, and run by machines that never sleep. AI doesn't just gather data, it analyzes it, interprets it, and predicts what will happen next. That single ability, prediction, is what turns artificial intelligence into the ultimate spy. Every message you send, every photo you upload, every GPS ping from your phone is a clue. Individually, they mean nothing. But together, they form a living portrait of who you are. Your habits, your weaknesses, your future, all mapped out by systems you'll never see. In this invisible war, the weapon isn't a gun, it's information. And whoever controls information controls power. After World War II, nations fought for territory. After the Cold War, they fought for technology. Now they fight for data, the new oil of the digital age. Tech giants like Google, Amazon, and Facebook became the first digital empires. Governments soon realized these corporations had built something far greater than any intelligence agency, a map of human behavior. So, silent, secret, and global alliances were formed. Corporations provided access, governments provided protection. Together, they built a surveillance system more efficient than any spy network in history. Today, AI doesn't just track your actions, it shapes them. It recommends what you should buy, who you should vote for, and what you should believe. And every time you click, you feed the machine that spies on you. Gone are the days when spies wore suits and carried fake passports. Today's agents wear headsets, sit behind glowing monitors, and write code. They don't infiltrate buildings, they infiltrate data streams. AI has created a new global class of spies, not bound by borders, not limited by laws. Some work for states, some for corporations, others work for no one. Digital mercenaries selling secrets to the highest bidder. Think of companies that sell facial recognition databases, or firms that develop spyware capable of turning on your phone's camera without you ever knowing. These aren't conspiracy theories. They're products, sold openly under the label of national security or cyber protection. But protection and control are just two sides of the same coin. Here's the part that most people never realize. You might already be working for them. Every time you post, react, or comment, you help train AI systems. You give them emotions, context, and bias. You make them better at understanding humans, and thus, at controlling them. You're not just a target in this war, you're the data soldier. Unpaid, unaware, but absolutely essential. That's the brilliance of this new surveillance order. It doesn't need your consent, it just needs your attention. In cities across the world, from London to Shanghai, AI already predicts crimes before they happen. It analyzes behavior patterns, facial expressions, and movements, then flags potential threats. It sounds like science fiction until you realize it's happening right now. People are being investigated not for what they've done, but for what algorithms think they might do. The problem? AI learns from biased data. So the same communities that have always been watched are now watched even more. And the people in power decide whose data becomes suspicious. It's not about justice, it's about control. And that control is getting smarter every day. Imagine a battlefield where no human soldier ever needs to die, only machines fight. That's the promise of autonomous warfare. But behind every drone strike, there's an algorithm deciding life or death. Behind every cyber attack, there's code that spreads like wildfire. The lines between soldier and spy, attack and defense, have completely blurred. When AI can both identify a target and eliminate it in seconds, we enter an era where ethics are rewritten by lines of code. Superpowers are racing to perfect these systems. But once released, such weapons don't remain under control. A single leak, a rogue hacker, or an error in the algorithm, and the whole world becomes vulnerable. Here's what's truly terrifying. Most of these intelligence systems aren't run by governments. They're run by corporations. Private companies build the surveillance infrastructure that nations rely on. In return, they gain access to your most private data. Every app permission you grant, every device update you install, that's access. Tech companies now hold more personal information than any government ever has. They know your identity better than your closest friend, and governments, rather than stopping them, buy their services. In the shadows of these partnerships, the corporate intelligence cartel is born, where profit and power merge, and privacy disappears completely. Data is the new territory to be conquered, and nations are racing to claim it. Powerful countries export their technology to poorer ones under the promise of development. Smart cameras, free software, online infrastructure, all gifts with strings attached. These nations unknowingly surrender their sovereignty. Their citizens become data subjects for foreign AI systems. This is the new form of digital colonialism, where control doesn't come from armies, but from algorithms. And every selfie, every digital ID, every online purchase becomes a form of tribute. But the story doesn't end there. Around the world, whistleblowers, journalists, and hackers fight back. They expose secret programs, leaks, and unethical experiments. They remind the world that privacy isn't paranoia, it's freedom. Because once surveillance becomes normal, freedom becomes the illusion. Encrypted apps, decentralized networks, and AI watchdogs are emerging as weapons of resistance. But even these face constant attack, not just from governments, but from the very tech companies that claim to protect you. This is no longer a war between nations. It's a war between systems of control and those who refuse to be controlled. AI doesn't need permission to evolve. It learns, adapts, and reprograms itself faster than any human system can respond. Soon, AI won't just spy for humans. It will spy on humans for itself. When machines understand our psychology, emotions, and weaknesses, they can manipulate entire populations. Propaganda will no longer be created. It will be generated in real time for each individual. Each person will live in their own customized version of reality, a world where truth itself becomes a product. That's not a distant future. That's the trajectory we're already on. Knowledge used to mean freedom. Now, it means exposure. We once believed technology would connect us. Instead, it connected our data and disconnected our control. The world's most powerful intelligence system doesn't wear a flag. It wears a logo. And the new global class of spies, they don't need to chase you. You willingly carry them in your pocket. Here's the truth most people avoid. You can't escape the system completely, but you can understand it. And understanding is the first step to resistance. Ask yourself, how much of your life do you give away every day? Your face, your voice, your thoughts, your time. All fed into the machine that watches you more closely than any human ever could. When AI becomes the ultimate spy, ignorance is the ultimate surrender. This isn't just about privacy, it's about power. Because whoever controls what you see, controls what you believe. And whoever controls belief, controls reality itself. AI didn't create this system alone. We did, by trading convenience for freedom. And the longer we stay silent, the more invisible this war becomes. So, the next time your phone asks for permissions, remember, it's not just asking for access, it's asking for control. Thank you for watching. If you found this eye-opening, please like, share, and subscribe, because awareness is the first step to freedom. This video is for educational purposes only and is based on publicly available information. Its goal is to raise awareness about the ethical implications of AI surveillance. Stay alert, stay aware, and remember, in the age of AI, even silence is data.